let's start with the agua. 2 to 6 ounces a day, roughly speaking, because that's, again, this is very unique. It does, now this is another unique thing, it does not kill healthy bacteria in your body. This is very important because it's a particular frequency and radiation that gives off. Well, it will not kill that. It's just the way it's made. It's the highest grade silver. I won't go into all the details, but it's really unique. It's highly oxygenated. It will not kill your normal bacteria. So that's good news. Obviously, if you're feeling a little sick and not so happy with things, go up to 6 ounces, but 2 ounces preventatively. Illuminine, 15 drops, roughly speaking. Some people take 30, but you work up slowly. Start with 1 drop 3 times a day, 2 drops 3 times a day, about 4 hours separation. Then you work up to 15. It may take you 2 weeks because it does detox. It's killing off parasites. It's doing this. It's doing that. Bacteria, infections of different things. So it's good to go slow until you could hit 15 drops 3 times a day. The clonoptonite, 4 caps at bedtime for 45 days, and rest. It's not an ongoing thing. It's going to clear it. I say keep going with the NCD all the time. The clonoptonite, do a 45-day stretch, and then do, I'm going to say 6 weeks probably is what we get out of that. 42 days. So maybe 3 times a year. Okay, and then the biophoton machine, really it's the coffee filter. You really do that on a weekly basis to make that remedy and drink it. And that's, again, a whole explanation, which I'm not going to go into all the details with that right now. Watch your mental diet. Watch what movies you go to. If you're watching TV, TV is really a major programming system. You want to be very careful about watching TV. Okay. So that's another thing. The scalar wave, little meditation we did, probably worth doing at least once a day. To clear the frequencies. Remember, it's a constant thing. HARP doesn't just happen once a month, It's going on all the time. So you want to be on top of that. So I think that covers the biggest list. The colloidal, divinely colloidal minerals are, maybe 1 or 2 ounces a day. It will mineralize you significantly. So that's a really good thing too. But that's secondary to the fact that it's pulling out a lot of these toxins. And the scalar salts are stuff you take on an ongoing basis, just a few pinches a day. Now I know the natural hygiene and some people in Life Food Movement, have taken a position that all salt is bad. That's a longer discussion, but I see it in terms of frequency and salt, healthy salt, biblical salt, has been used for literally, thousands of years. Even the Romans, would pay people in salt. So that's called salary, salt. Okay, so we really got to make a distinction. Now there was a study done, the Baleen study, I think it was 1984. This was 1984. That they studied 10,000 people, and really nobody got high blood pressure. But indigenous people did, because their bodies were not used to the table salt. But how much did they get? Well, 1.27 of systolic and a half a point in diastolic, which is really nothing. So, but I have seen people have their blood pressure raised. So I'm going to say it can happen, but you shouldn't be eating regular salt. Not good for you. It doesn't hold Earth's frequency. It's missing minerals. Particularly it's missing magnesium. Well, magnesium is important for keeping your blood pressure low. That's what the main mineral we give. So, whereas this kind of biological, complete, protected from the chemtrail salt, which is under the earth. Not only do you get the vortex energy, but you are getting magnesium, which helps protect you against high blood pressure. The other thing is the magnesium is needed for the sodium-potassium pump to work right. Otherwise, sodium begins to gather up into the cells, and that's something you get with regular table salt. So there are all kinds of subtleties here why there's a difference. But the biggest thing is it's called earth frequencies. We're so separated from the earth. I think salt is probably more important now than ever before, good salt, earth salt, because we're so disconnected from the earth that we need to have those earth frequencies radiating in us throughout the day and grounding us. So, and that is, it's controversial if you just talk about salt, but if you understand its frequencies and vortexes, and reconnecting to Mother Earth, it's good. I would say that the people that say no salt may have to look at their level of disconnection from the earth. I think that this is the level of what we're seeing. We use the salt all the time, and it's great. And I don't think we've ever seen, but it's possible. I take that back. There was one person, I think, who's extremely sensitive to all salt, but I don't know what that was. But otherwise, we've never seen anybody get high blood pressure. And this person didn't get high blood pressure, they got swelling. So they had medical problems. But without any medical problems, generally speaking, this is very safe. And the advantage is also you can stop it if it bothers you. Okay, any other questions?